The CDC estimates about 48 million Americans suffer from food-related illnesses each year. More than 38 million of them become ill from unknown causes as a result of what they eat. USAtoday.com restaurant columnist Larry Olmsted's new book is called Real Food, Fake Food. He takes an in-depth look into the food industry and reveals the surprising ways Americans are being tricked into buying and eating what he calls counterfeit foods. Larry, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so first explain, what is fake food?
I like to use an example of the lobster. You go and you get a Maine lobster, it comes out of the tank, it's got the claws, you know it's a lobster. It doesn't look like anything else.
Right.
But you order lobster ravioli or a lobster roll or lobster bisque or lobster salad, suddenly you don't know what's in it. And Inside Edition did a story on restaurants, Red Lobster's lobster bisque contained no lobster. So that's sort of the spectrum. The lobster whole is real food. The lobster ravioli with no lobster, to me, is fake food. You're not getting what's advertised.
Yeah, your first line of your book is, I love food. And then you proceed to tell us that truffle oil is really awful oil. The Kobe beef is not really Kobe beef. Run away from the shrimp. It's not good if it's on the buffet. So I was thinking, all the things I like, Larry, you're saying, caution, caution, caution.
Well, when I started, I was thinking of calling the book Fake Food, Real Food, and I flipped the title, and the reason I did that is because the real food is important. I say, you know, they knock off Rolexes more often than Timexes. So these foods are worth seeking out. Really good olive oil, real Kobe beef. It's not what you're usually getting, and I want people to enjoy these foods. They taste better, and they're generally much better for you.
You said it also includes wines.
It does. Champagne would be the number one example. There's probably no food more associated with a geographic location than champagne. And if you ask, and they have asked Americans, you know, what is champagne? And the overwhelming majority say, oh, it's a sparkling wine that can only be produced in France. But that's not true. Labeled champagne is widely made in California and upstate New York, and it's typically of very low quality and does not adhere to standards.
And what's interesting here is none of this is violating any laws.
Some of it is, definitely. Some of the adulteration, when they cut olive oil with other oils or substances, they cut honey with corn syrup, that is a violation of the law. But a lot of it is labeling issues that are unregulated, like natural would be the perfect example. You can slap natural on pretty much any food product. It's meaningless.
I mean, Larry, you even say Walmart does a better job than the FDA of protecting the American consumer. That really surprised me.
It is, and one of the things that people have been surprised at is that I suggest the big box stores for buying certain items, and part of that is because they have such clout with their producers that they're able to dictate standards. Seafood, they say you got to get this certification or we won't buy from you, and if you sell to Walmart or Costco, you go and get that certification, whereas the FDA is asleep at the switch.
You really come down hard on fish.
91% of the seafood we eat in the United States is imported. The FDA is mandated by law to inspect 2% of that, and every year they come up woefully short. They're lucky if they inspect a 0.5%. So a quarter of what they're legally required to inspect. It's a low bar, and they can't even come close to making it.
But what proof do you have that it's fake? That the red snapper you say is fake in a lot of different restaurants, particularly sushi restaurants?
For seafood, the number one weapon has been DNA testing, and a number of studies have been done. They've been done by Oceana, which is a nonprofit environmental group, is sort of the leader in this, but the Times, the Boston Globe, a lot of papers and other news organizations have done regional studies. And in Oceana's case, they go around the country to restaurants and stores, they buy samples, and they DNA test them, and they can conclusively prove that it's not red snapper.
It sort of seems like an indictment of the food industry.
Definitely. I just recently...
Larry goes, yep, that's what it is.
Yeah, but I don't know that that's fair. I mean, a broad brushstroke indictment of the food industry doesn't seem very fair.
Oh, no, that's true. I mean,
specifically, if there's a specific bad actor, you should point out who that bad actor is. But
sure, and there's a lot of good producers that I do single out. It's more, when I say the food industry, I mean the way it's regulated and the way it's labeled. And you can't really blame some of these companies for doing things that are legal. I just recently saw the movie The Big Short, and I see a lot of comparisons here to that industry. A lot of this stuff was unregulated, it was legal, but everybody knowing who did it knew they were doing wrong.
But it's not all bad news. You have advice on what we should do when we go to the store and how we should order and what we should look out for.
Absolutely. At the end of each chapter, I give very specific buying tips. You know, how to buy real extra virgin olive oil, how to buy seafood that is what it says it is. And I think that's important. As people are more informed, they can eat healthier and eat better.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you.
Larry Olmsted. Real food, fake food is on sale now.